What up, Doe?
I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in.
We are Jalen Jacoby on ESPN Radio and ESPN 2. What do we do?
Bring it up, people! What they want.
Yeah! The people of Minnesota got what they wanted. The Minnesota Lynx are now four-time WNBA champions. They really tried to give away the game at the end. I was watching you, Lynx, but they pulled it out. But it was the beginning of the game which showed their key to victory. If you look at this footage from their pregame locker room speech, you will see behind one of the players, that is exactly what you think it is. If you're up this late watching this show, you know exactly what that is. That is a bottle of MD 2020 known as Mad Dog 2020. It has been the key to their success. They're superstitious about this. They've had it in their locker room since 2011. Jalen Rose, in honor of this and the Lynx champions, I filled the studio with Mad Dog 2020.
Yes, indeed.
We will never lose a show for the rest of the time we are on the air, which probably won't be that long if we ever drink this. But we will be undefeated forever as a program as long as we have our Mad Dog 2020 bottles.
This is why we're the boardwalk of television and podcasts. A couple of things. You can start making the argument that Maya Moore is probably one of the greatest champions in professional and collegiate sports of all time?
You could. It'd be tricky, but let's start with in the WNBA. There's still some competition.
I'm just saying about what she's already accomplished, the chips that she's already won on both levels. Mm-hmm. But back to the Mad Dog 2020.
Okay.
First and foremost, whose locker was that in?
So I think that was Cynthia Fowles, I believe. That's what I
need
believe.
A name, and here's why.
Sylvia Fowles.
Cynthia, I have to tell you this.
Sylvia,
I have to. Oh, that's the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I have to tell you this. You could have ran with Detroit Southwestern anytime. Because whether you know this or not, in the 90s, that was so very popular. Not only that, but Cisco and OE and
Night
St.
Train,
Ives
yeah,
and Wild Irish Rose. Like, that right there, it just makes me happy to see that bottle. I'm so disappointed that I'm not in the studio right now, but it's best for our program.
It's best for everybody.
We'd probably get fired.
It's best for everybody.
And or canceled if I wasn't there. Now, here's the one thing I have to stress.
Uh-oh.
And Sylvia, please reach out to the program. Please, 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 because I have to answer this question. It's really important. When other champions are drinking champagne, are you guys truly drinking that?
Oh, you have to. Here's the thing. If you just won a championship on your home floor and the confetti's coming down from the ceiling and you've got Mad Dog 2020 in the locker room, you are drinking the Mad Dog 2020, no matter what. And when you wake up the next morning, you are regretting that you drank the Mad Dog 2020. We all know that to be true as well.
Now, drinking that Mad Dog 2020 will have you calling Earl and gripping the toilet, like DJ Quick would say.
Yes, it will. Let's move on, Mr. Rose. From the heights of female athleticism to some of the depths of what females in sports have to deal with. Cameron.
Cameron.
Killer
Mr.
Cam.
Newton.
Killer Cam. Killer Cam.
Cam.
Fig Newton.
Oh, Cam.
Pig Newton. Newton's Law. Cam, what are you doing? By the time you're watching this program, you've already seen this story. You've seen the tweets. You've seen the footage. What he did was so disrespectful, so vile, so antiquated, so just ridiculous that you don't need us to tell you why and that it was wrong. But one of the things that bothers me the most about this is Jordan Rodriguez. Her story is now, she told us that she spoke with Cam after he did this and he did not apologize. In my mind, both of those things are awful, but worse than that is the fact that he did not apologize.
What he did was basically sexist and misogynistic to inquire that a female, oh, and by the way, for everybody that repeats this, the way he used that term was also disrespectful.
Good point.
They could actually be called women or ladies, but I want to point out a few things that tend to happen in sports. And as an athlete, these are some of the barriers and or stereotypes I hope to avoid by getting into this industry. I talk a lot about wanting to be an honor roll student and make the dean's list because I didn't want to be considered a dumb jock. But what ends up happening is sometimes we create certain activities that make people question our intelligence. And let me tell you what I mean. There are so many athletes that think because you, for example, didn't play the sport, that you shouldn't have an opinion on it. And then it goes a little bit further. People will say, well, because I played basketball, I shouldn't talk about football. Or then there's the athlete that says, well, I'm so very accomplished, I'm in the Hall of Fame, so therefore, if you ain't in the Hall of Fame, you can't say anything about me. And then there's the guy that's like, oh, I won so many championships. If you don't have any championships like me, then you can't say anything. All of that is ridiculous. If you're measured, if you're intelligent, if you're a student of your craft, and or, by the way, you get paid to do this job, that means you're a professional. That means you have the opportunity. You have earned the right to have an opinion. And if you just so happen to be a woman, like she was in this case, don't be one of those trolls that's sending out messages agreeing with Cam, because what he said is wrong. You're worse than the people that like and retweet things sometimes that 45 says. You become a part of the problem instead of part of the solution. And lastly, I don't care what she tweeted about her dad years ago. I don't care about whatever's on her timeline 5 years ago. That has nothing to do about this scenario. Is it life or death? No. But is it rude, disrespectful, and should he apologize? Only if it's genuine? Absolutely.
It's also indicative of what females have to deal with, not just in this industry, but just in the world, all over the world.
A male-dominated industry literally coming to the forefront, unfortunately.
And now we have this. Very quickly. Kobe Bryant was on the Hollywood Reporters Awards Chatter podcast.
Black Mamba.
And he was asked what he would do if he were in the league now during the anthem, and he answered, kneel. You know Kobe. Do you believe him?
I want to believe him.
I don't believe him.
Now, the Kobe Bryant that came into the league as a teenager, we saw him mature over a 20-year span. And so the things that you think are important then versus the thing as a father that's retired, that has kids, and now has a worldly view of things is way different now. So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but more importantly, I appreciate the fact that he's conscious and he's speaking on a topic that's really prevalent, but I continue to have to stress. People aren't protesting the anthem. They're not protesting
it's not about the anthem.
They're protesting inequality. They're protesting racial justice, police brutality. Those are the things that are being protested.
There's too much focus on the anthem and the flag and the military and not enough focus on what this is all about originally. What we're all about after this break is a boxing match between George Foreman and Steven Seagal. Welcome back to Jalen Jacoby. OJ
Juice
is on the loose.
Orenthal.
Mr. Simpson. So let me just explain something. He was in jail, right, for 9 years. He was not in jail for anything to do with the murder of Nicole Simpson or Ron Goldman. Nothing to do with that.
And he got picked up in a white truck.
He was in jail because of an incident that happened in a Las Vegas hotel room that involved his memorabilia. So now TMZ has pictures of him doing what when he gets released? In a Las Vegas hotel room at night, signing some memorabilia. OJ, what are you doing? What are you doing, OJ? Can you explain this, Jalen?
There is no explanation. If I was him, I would have been on the first thing smoking.
What are you doing in Las Vegas in hotel room signing memorabilia,
because the
OJ?
one thing about signing memorabilia, you can do it in another country.
And also, you can sign memorabilia anywhere. Also, any money that you make from signing memorabilia, you owe to someone else. And if you don't pay them, then you are going to be breaking the law. And if you break the law, where do you go, Mr. Rose?
In jail without the bail.
Come on, OJ. Moving on. Friend of the podcast, colleague of ours, great basketball mind and thinker and reporter, Brian Windhorst, addressed a topic that we've been discussing for quite some time. On The Jump yesterday, he said that the NBA would never Jalen, never go to a 0 through 16 seeding playoff format. This is something that you have been suggesting for years. It is a clear, correct answer for the league to do in time, but he has some good reasons why he doesn't think it'll happen. The league does not want the playoffs dominated by small market teams that come in the Western Conference. It would hurt the ratings, and it would take 20 votes from the organizations to approve this sort of a change. The Eastern Conference wouldn't go for it. Even though we know it's the right thing to do you think that this could keep it from happening?
I think it can keep it from happening, not because of the first reason, the small market teams, i.e. Portland, for example, being in the playoffs versus a large market team, say like New York or Philly, they probably have a better record than being in the playoffs. But the 20 votes. But the foul thing about this conversation is that we're clearly saying that the East won't go for it.
That
lets you know that there's an issue.
There is an issue, and also like the Eastern Conference will not be, the Western Conference will not be dominating the Eastern Conference forever. At some point, it will level out, and at that point, I believe they will address this. It is the right thing to do. Like the whole travel thing is over, and the conferences and the divisions, like no one cares about this. We want to see the best 16 teams play in the playoffs, and if you look at the matchups every single year, if you went 0 to 16, it would be a better playoffs, and you are incentivizing the teams to finish higher because they would play not the 8th best team in the conference, but they would play the 16th or 15th or 14th best team in the league. It just makes too much sense.
Absolutely. And also for those that hope to see this happen and or have an opposition to this happen, what it also does, it forces you to play the 82-game schedule. Because a lot of times you get slotted in your conference and you understand that you're 2 or 3 games either way, and so you're able to pace yourself. If you have to go 1 through 16, you literally have to play out the entire schedule, and it makes a bigger difference later in the year.
We all know it's the right thing to do. It'll happen. Let's move on. The baseball playoffs are happening right now, and the New York Yankees are going up against the Cleveland Indians, which puts LeBron James in an interesting position, especially when the New York Yankees official account tweets this picture of LeBron James with the caption, #PinstripePride. LeBron James is clearly a Yankee fan in this picture, but was supporting the Cleveland Indians last year during their playoff run. Jalen Rose, you know I am a die-easy sports fan. I am not a die-hard sports fan. I will float from team to team. My loyalties lie wherever I want, whenever I want. So I ride for LeBron James and his die-easy Cleveland Indians fandom. What do you think about his die-easy fandom?
But your decisions don't sway fiscally what happens in Cleveland and in Ohio the way his does. And or for that matter,
how do you know?
Whatever happens around the league. And so when you are in a situation that he's in, a lifetime Yankee fan, playing against the Indians, you're from Ohio, you have split allegiance. So I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up wearing an Indians jersey, and they haven't changed that name yet, and a Yankees hat. The Yankees don't allow people to wear facial hair. They still don't have names on the back of their jerseys. But anyway, that's what I think he's going to do.
Next, I just love the idea of this. George Foreman on Twitter challenged Steven Seagal to a match where he said that he will box and Steven Seagal can use whatever. 10 rounds in Las Vegas. Would this be the best fight of 2017 if it actually happened?
No. Canelo Triple G is the best fight of 2017. Now, with that being said, I'm rolling with Big George.
What if Steven Seagal uses a grill, though? What if he brings out the Foreman grill? He said, you can use whatever I want, George. I'm bringing the grill.
Why would Seagal bring out one of his weapons? If anything, it should happen in reverse. That's not fair.
The most important story of the day is this. The legend, the hero, the great artist, Ghostface Killah has a new business. He has launched his own cryptocurrency company. It's called Cream Capital. It took me a long time to figure out why it's called Cream Capital because I'm really dumb. And, Jalen, are you down with Ghostface cryptocurrency?
Cash rules everything around me. Here's the thing. We talk a lot about on this program about a VIP list of individuals that we would not tolerate to be slandered. Ghostface is on that list.
I don't know.
The Iron Eagle is on that list.
I don't know what cryptocurrency is. I don't know how it works. I don't know what Ghostface involvement is, but I'm all in. Whatever you want, Ghostface. You can take all my real money. You can turn it into fake money. You can put it online. Whatever you need, Ghostface. We are here for you on Jalen Jacoby. We ride for you. Long live Cream Capital cryptocurrency, whatever that is.
The
Coming
Iron
up
Eagle.
next on Jalen Jacoby, we're going to play Keep It Moving with Method Man. That's next on Jalen Jacoby on ESPN2. What is the biggest animal you think you could take in a fight?
I always talked about being the guy with irrational confidence, so I have to have that in this case. I'm going elephant.
I mean, I'm just trying to think what dollar amount that I would pay to see this fight. I think I would like sell one of my children just to watch you fight an elephant. Welcome back. I'm Jacoby. He's Jalen. We're Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN2. We have a game that we play on this show. It's called Keep It Moving. It's very simple. If you want to discuss it, you tell me to hit the brakes. If it's not worth discussing, as so many things are not worth discussing,
We don't force topics on this fine program.
we keep it moving. First, Terrell Pryor went on Instagram and explained why he was so vulgar
You know
towards a
what?
fan.
I'm going to say keep it moving on this one because you can either go X route, I for an hour, MLK route, turn the other cheek. He kind of did a hybrid of the two.
Kevin Love already is talking about potential picks for the All-Star game from LeBron. Keep it moving.
Keep it
hit the
moving.
brakes.
You already know we're going to take it some type of way if Bron don't pick you.
I'm going to veto this, and we're going to hit the brakes on this one. Joey Fatone said that NSYNC could join Justin Timberlake on the Super Bowl stage. Jalen, do you know who NSYNC is?
I do.
Who's NSYNC?
A boy band.
Oh, I didn't know you knew that. Okay.
And here's
Can
the
you
thing.
can you name an NSYNC song?
Gone.
I just heard Reggie say that in your ear. I heard Reggie say that into your ear. See now I don't even know it's real anymore. I don't even know who you are. Is Reggie giving you all the answers now? Reggie's got your back. Yeah, you know what? Reggie probably doesn't know.
Reggie ain't supposed to hear you.
Gone is a real NSYNC song, isn't it? I want it. Let's keep it moving, man. Come on, Reg. Andy Reid has an interesting approach to motivating his team. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Keep it moving. He's the head coach whisperer. I think he has 4 or 5 of his former assistants leading teams currently.
Kristaps Porzingis isn't so happy with the plans the Knicks have for him. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
First off, he needs to stop thirst trapping on social media.
Okay. Thank you for that. Here is what Mr. Porzingis said about the plans for the Knicks to put him at center. I think it's better for me at the 4, especially if I'm playing a non-shooting 4. I can do a lot. When playing against the 5, I'm fighting with a lot of time and I'm wasting a lot of energy. Obviously, offensively, I have managed at center, but I'm just more comfortable playing at the 4. Kristaps, can I explain something to you?
You're a 7-footer. You
You're
stay
7
in
feet
foul
tall.
trouble. You're in the Eastern Conference.
They got Draymond
There
Green
aren't too
playing
many
center over
bigs
there.
That could get you in foul trouble. Kevin Love is going to be playing the 5.
What do you think is going to happen here? Yeah, Kevin Love's playing the 5 in your conference. Kristaps Porzingis, the reason the people are calling you a unicorn is because you can play center. This is your future in the NBA is at the 5 position. I know it's harder to bang against those guys. Do you know what it sounded like to me? It sounds like, oh, that sounds like a lot of work. That sounds like something I would say. Like, I don't know if I want to do that, ESPN. That sounds like a lot of work. That's basically what he's saying. That might hurt my numbers. That sounds like a lot of work. I don't want to do it. Come on, Kristaps.
And also, too, the 4 position has evolved. So all of a sudden now you got to guard Draymond Green,
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want those
LeBron
problems.
James in certain matchups.
You don't want those problems, Kristaps. You're 7 feet tall. You're a center. That's how it works. Unless you're Kevin Durant. You're not Kevin
Unless
Durant.
they get one.
You're not Kevin Durant. You're not Kevin Durant, Porzingis. Next, Isaiah Thomas took a little shot at the Celtics. Do you want to hear about it? Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's my guy.
He took a picture of the whiteboard at the Cavs facility. It said, thought of the day. Respect is earned, honesty is appreciated, trust is gained. And then he circled, loyalty is returned. Is that a shot at the Celtics?
Absolutely. And I pointed this out because it got lost with their team acquiring Kyrie Irving. What they really were saying is they didn't want to max out Isaiah Thomas. And that should be something that he takes personal, and I can't wait to see how he responds.
Jalen, legacy is very important to you. You talk about it all the time. Well, there's a player in the NBA that doesn't care about legacy at all. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brake.
Manu Ginobili said, quote, "Just live your life every single day. Do the best you can. That's more of my motto than leaving a legacy."
If Manu Ginobili didn't care about leaving a legacy, he wouldn't have found a way to sacrifice as much as he has. And I know that sounds contradictory because a lot of times you can say, hey, I don't want to be a member of the Spurs. I want to go somewhere and be the guy. But that's also taking a chance. I think he would have been able to flourish in that system, but he has been somebody that's been selfless. He could have been a starter. He probably could have got a maximum contract. Later in his career, he probably could have gone for green pastures. So if somebody is believable in this tone, I would have to take him for his word at this point.
He's not going to get a statue, though, right?
He will not get a statue.
Can we
Tim
talk-
Duncan's getting a statue. David Robinson should have one also.
Can you name another NSYNC song, Jalen Rose? Can you name another one? Don't do it, Reggie. Can you name another one?
I cannot.
Can you name someone in NSYNC?
Justin Timberlake.
Have you ever been in a sink?
Yes, I was washed in the sink for years growing up, and I
We'll
slept
be
in the
back
top
tomorrow.
drawer.
Jalen Jacoby on ESPN2.